smile. Good morning. This is Terry from Fabric Junction with another great project for you. It's called a hot mat or a coaster. And this will be a wonderful way to use up your leftover 10-inch squares and your 5-inch squares. And as you can see, the smaller one can be used as a regular coaster or use it as a wine coaster and make a variety of them and give them to your guests when you're serving wine. And when they set it down, they'll remember which wine glass is theirs based on the coaster that they receive. So let me show you how we're going to put them together along with your material list. I use 6 10-inch squares and 1 10-inch square of Insulbrite for the hot mat. For the coaster, again, 6 5-inch squares, and on my instructions I say a 5-inch square of Insulbrite, but it can be a 5-inch square of any kind of leftover batting that you have. I just happen to have some scraps that I used for it. So what you do, and you can use a variety of squares, they don't have to be the same. I just happen to have 3 of the cork and 3 of the grape. Take 4 of them, and even though, as you can see, I'll open these up to show you that these are 10-inch squares, all I did was press them in half. So take 4 of your squares and press them in half. Now, this one here will be on the inside. So sometimes if you're running kind of short and you don't have a whole lot, you can use kind of a scrap piece of fabric for this part if you want. But that will be on the back while we sew. Place the piece that you want to be seen. And in this case, I'd like the grapes to be seen. Now we take our folded edge and we line it up on the edge. And then I want you to go counterclockwise and do the same. Take your folded edge and line it up. And the reason for this is when we get to sew, this seam then will be laying down instead of up. If you happen to lay it the other way, that's not going to hurt anything. But alternating, laying the raw edge, the large raw edge, 10 inches to 10 inches. When you get to your last one, fold your first one back, lay your last piece, and then fold it back. And it actually looks just like your finished product. I put a pin in, just kind of each one out of the way, because I don't want this to shift when I'm moving. Now we have several layers here. If you'd like to use your walking foot, you sure can. Otherwise, you can use your regular foot. It won't hurt anything. I do a seam that's a little wider than a 1/4 inch. I set my needle to the left if you can, and then I use the edge of my foot here as my guide. And then that way I don't have the foot wobbling off the edge. When to the corner, just turn it, don't worry about cutting it. When you're doing multiple layers, sometimes you do have to kind of watch to make sure that they lay down. Get to the edge, again. We're going to sew around all 4 sides. we go. We have secured it. Now this is a great project to make the hot mat for maybe a 4-H project, Girl Scouts, you know, any group that you want to do a quick project for yourself as a gift. And as you can see, I'm trimming the corner, and I do it by cutting across first, and then I trim just a little more off the side, not a whole lot. So once I have my corners trimmed, just open up that section and turn it. So when I first go around, I just use my hand to kind of get it out where I want. Don't worry as much about the corner just yet. I grab my tweezer, and a lot of times this is what I do when I do a corner. I put the tweezer down in the corner and then I push it back up. So I grab the point of the corner. Oh, there we go. And I just work it out. Now, because of the bulk of this, these corners are never going to be super square. They will be rounded just a little bit. And that's okay. Our whole goal is to get the corner there turned nice and out. You have your corners turned. Then you can go to your iron, you can give it a press to get it to lay a little bit flatter, and there you go, you have your beautiful hot mat with the grapes on the outside, ready for use as a gift. Thank you for watching us at Fabric Junction. Check us out online at junctionfabric.com.